Kicking that, rocking the scene, reviewing old flicks from the 90s. So keep the VHS Club, they're the talk of the town. Breaking it down, spreading nostalgia all around. Moving and grooving to the synth-pop sound. Their insights so fresh, painting pictures profound. From Pulp Fiction to Clueless, they know it all. The genuine love from movies stands tall. Unfolding memories on that VHS screen, talking about classics like you've never seen. Katie with her charm, Matt with that wit. Together they make the VHS Club legit.
Welcome to the VHS Club. We are trying all the different things tonight, so have patience with us when it all inevitably breaks. Potential welcome to Facebook and Instagram Tater Tots. Otherwise, sorry to Instagram and Facebook Tater Tots. It's safe over here on YouTube, but we thought we would test out all the different places and spaces tonight. So thanks for hanging out with us and for testing out with us. And we're at a test night anyway, because we were originally going to do Bushwhacked tonight, which is a hilarious 90s comedy with our friend Moose. But instead we thought, let's go real dark and do Seven. So if you're hanging out here and you're like, wait a sec, I wanted to watch Bushwhacked, you may need to just hit that exit button and peace out, because we're gonna have fun, but it is a much darker vibe tonight. It's raining over here.
Yeah, just a bit. Though, I mean, you and I have loved serial killer stuff.
True. We're fine.
Information.
We're fine.
Like,
but I'm worried for Josh and for all of our Tater Tots who are not fans of the dark. But I do think I think it is important to actually talk about a wide range of different movies. And so I do think, even though all of you may not be equal fans of horror or thrillers or suspense, I do think it is good sometimes for us to check out movies like this. So we had a lot of fun because I forced Nat last night to do a pop-up because our plans changed last minute. Huge shout out to Moose for being so patient. His son is really sick, so we're hoping that he gets feeling better soon. But we were like, we need a new plan. So we pulled up our movie list, which anyone can check out at any point and let us know your thoughts on our very interesting, out of Nat's mind movie list. You can go over to the VHSclubpod.com/movie list and be able to check that.
Forward or backslash?
I'm not pass. It's a choose your slash wisely, and then put movie list and you will find it. But yeah, we scrolled through and you all gave us incredible feedback, which we completely ignored, and then we decided to do Seven. So here we are.
And people voted for Seven.
I think just Matt, but he is here tonight. So shout out to Matt.
Hey, Matt.
Shout out to Matt. I think Doc was like, yay, Seven. And then he gave a completely different vote on something else. So so this one goes out to Matt, who's hanging out with us. And if you're watching on YouTube or you're catching this later, in the show notes, I did drop a link to Matt recommended an incredible video that talks a little bit about once you're finished watching this movie or rewatching this movie, there is a feel to this other than the rain, other than the gloomy and darkness. There is a feel to this movie. And this was a really great YouTube video where it just goes into the cinematography and the direction and the vision behind this movie and all
Yeah,
of
the
the
visual
movies.
techniques used and camera techniques used by David
Yeah,
Fincher.
it was
It was a really good watch through YouTube.
fascinating. So
Yeah.
huge thanks to Matt for sending that along. That was that just made the entire
Yeah,
night.
loved it.
All right, before we get
I also
dark,
didn't realize, I was like, oh yeah, and David Fincher did all of these other things that I
yeah.
love. I'm like, of course. I did realize it was the same person. Did not connect it to Seven today.
Yeah,
But yeah.
yeah, Mindhunters, Fight
Oh,
Club.
love that show.
There were so many of them. Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Zodiac. Yeah, there. Yeah, he really is a visionary, and the film techniques are just phenomenal. So it was fascinating. So huge thank you to Matt. I see a whole bunch. So we'll say hello to all of you before we get real dark. Before we get dark here, we have David Jones hanging out with us. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. Just saw the Muppets. I know. I've been like holding. I have not yet watched the Muppets, of which I'm so excited, and I have not yet
new
watched
one. Is it
the
out?
new one. Yes.
Okay.
And then I haven't yet watched the new Fraggle Rock. So I'm holding. So that I can just appreciate, so I can just appreciate all of it. Hey, to Frenchy Fries, this is an incredible name. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. And and Josh, you're so patient with us. Josh is like, I'm here, but pass on this entire movie and all horror, and totally fair. Josh,
I mean, it's a crime like movie.
Yes.
But it is a bit scary, I guess.
Yes. And as Matt says, it's entirely Matt's fault. Also, it's Nat and Matt's fault because Nat had this one on her OG list. So we're diving into the original.
And I had been wanting to rewatch this. It popped into my head either yesterday or the day before, and I'm like, I need to rewatch this movie soon.
Yeah.
And anyways, we're feeding the beast. So we've watched it.
We're feeding the beast. All right, well, let's jump in. My ChatGPT friend referred to this episode as as why are we doing this to ourselves? So go ahead, Nat, jump into the why are we doing this to ourselves? What is this movie about? We are reviewing Seven, 1995's Seven.
So starring Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Kevin Spacey, among others.
Mm-hmm.
It's about a lieutenant detective, Somerset, played by Morgan Freeman, who's retiring. And he catches a case with a new detective who transferred to this city. Unnamed New York, Chicago kind of city. And which makes me think of the Hill Street Blues old TV show where it's like in a fictional city, but seems kind of like Chicago. Anyways, doesn't matter. My brain needs to focus. And so the retiring homicide detective takes on the new homicide detective sort of shadowing situation. They catch a case and the seasoned detective thinks, he's like, this is going to be a serial. I just have a really bad feeling about it. And he tells the chief, he's like, I don't want to take this case. Yeah. He's like, I have 5 days left. No, like, I'm not doing it. The newbie's like, I'll take it. And he's like, you can't handle this case yet. You're not ready. You're so green, which he really is. And smart, but very emotional.
That scene is phenomenal because he's like, I'm out. And then Brad Pitt's character is like, I'm all in. And he's like, no, he's out too. No one should like pass this off to someone else. Neither of us are on this case. Yeah. Yeah.
And but then as it obviously does develop into a serial, they do end up working on it. And much to the detriment of this unknown city's police department, the serial killer wins. He wins the plot.
Yeah. Yes.
It's based on the seven.
Yeah. Sorry.
And this killer, his goal is he's recreating the 7 deadly sins. Basically, he says these crimes bother him so much that he's highlighting them. But then as he's committing these murders, he realizes that he is also part of the plot of because he has envy for Brad Pitt and his little family, and he decides to include Brad Pitt as the final sin, wrath. And yeah, that's the
And that's it.
plot.
Have a good night. No,
Yeah.
just kidding. I I really love this movie for a whole slew of different
Yeah.
reasons. One, I just think it's really filmmaking at its absolute best. Like it is phenomenal acting from literally every character all the way through. And the, as we said earlier, the cinematography and the filmmaking in this is ridiculously good. Like this is
One of my
a
favorite shots is like so they're in the hallway when they find John Doe's apartment.
mhm. John Doe's the killer,
And
serial killer. Yep.
John Doe's the killer.
Mhm.
So they kind of bend the rules to figure out who might be potential suspects by getting help from the FBI, which I don't really know how that's bending the rules. And also, like, usually serial cases, like, doesn't the FBI come in?
Yeah.
But whatever. Okay, it doesn't matter for the point of the movie. So they're standing at the end of the hall, and John Doe comes up, and just the way they're looking at each other and the way that's filmed, and then he
Opens fire.
opens
Yeah.
fire at them, like he shoots at them. It like that whole scene was just so phenomenal. Like even before the chase, just like the hallway was just fantastic.
Yeah,
Like,
this movie, unlike, I mean, not that there's not other movies like this, but this movie sets a tone. Like it has a vibe, whatever
yeah,
expression you want to use. Like it is raining almost every single day in this city, which is never named and purposefully never named. It's supposed to represent just like like
a big city.
a big
Like,
city, but it's also like representing like the the darkest parts of a big city, the like
mhm.
the fear you feel when you think of a big city. Like it has a, the city almost has a character onto its own. It, interestingly enough, and
Yeah.
Josh, I will speak specifically to you in this one since I know you're never going to watch this, but what I kept thinking in this moment, like as the movie started and as I was like sort of remembering parts of it but still kind of almost really experiencing it, not for the first time obviously, but like having kind of first moments of
Yeah.
it since it's been a really long time, this feels in some way like Batman, go with me here, in that
Okay.
in that
Like
the,
Gotham City.
yeah, in that like this, it's this city that's like crime ridden, dark, fear inspiring, like rainy. And Morgan Freeman's character throughout this movie, like he's so beaten down and like, and he can't, like you
He's just
feel
over
the
it.
weight of it. Like, but you feel that
Yeah.
it's not like, it's almost beyond over it. Like it's not like he's like, I just want to get
Yeah.
out of here, I want to retire. Like he
No,
like
no, he's leaving because he feels that it's getting
the
worse and
pressure.
worse and
Yeah.
worse.
It
And
he
that scene where he's talking with Brad Pitt and saying like how like you and I wish I could be like you are now.
Yeah,
Like
he
you think we're gonna
wants to be
solve this
happy. Yeah.
crime.
Yeah.
He's like, you think we're gonna solve the crime, you think we're gonna catch the killer. He's like, I don't think it makes a difference. All we do is just collect evidence and like nothing changes, you know? And it was yeah, it was really powerful scene like to show how much he is just so bogged down by the city and how he just feels that the crime is getting worse and worse. And then the police chief points out, he's like, it's not getting worse. It's always been like that. Like the city hasn't changed, you have.
Yeah.
So, and which makes the ending 10 times more tragic because he ends up staying on.
Yeah.
Like it in his little voiceover at the end, Morgan Freeman is like I'm not going to retire. I'm going to do this till the day I die because like somebody needs to, you know, fill this space. And I'm like, he's basically sacrificed himself to the city
Yeah.
to stay on to continue solving crimes that we know he feels can't be like won't make a difference whether they're solved or not.
Yeah. And it, again, I know it's probably somewhat silly to compare it to Batman, but it does have the, it has that feeling in like the darkness of the city. It has that feeling in Morgan Freeman has like a sort of a similar like inner turmoil and inner battle over
Yeah.
like I just want to free myself of this weight and this like this responsibility that's been forced on me, and like the soul sucking nature of it. But
Yeah.
I can't, because it's like I need to be here to, like, who else is going to help these people? And then you have also, like, even, this makes me sound like a horrible person, but here are my actual thoughts. Like, even in the murders in this movie, they are horrific and terrible. And like, but there is that almost like that vigilante side of it where, like,
Well, it is, yeah.
like Kevin Spacey is like, and he even says this, his character says this at the end of the
He
movie.
kills like a pedophile. He kills
he's killing
murderers.
like quote
He's
unquote
killing,
bad people. And so you do
They are.
sort of,
They all are.
Yeah, you have this like
including
moment,
himself.
including
he
himself.
gets himself
Yeah.
killed. Actually, the only person he killed that wasn't bad was Brad Pitt's wife.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. She was completely innocent, and you could see that her innocence was like extremely highlighted in a way that she's an elementary school teacher. She's, you know, young. She's pregnant. The city scares her.
She's scared to be there.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she has the way she's isolated too is she has no friends. So she makes friends with Lieutenant Detective Somerset. Yeah, so it's super tragic that he kills her, but it's the hairpin trigger to get Brad Pitt to kill him, to get him to kill the serial killer.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, it's so sad. I'm like, oh, why did you do it? Why'd you do it, Brad?
I know. And that, like, all right,
And like,
let's
could you not?
let's work our way
so
up. Let's work our way
they
up here.
present-
Let's go through and talk about. We haven't talked about Brad Pitt's character. Let's get to the last scene, because we have definitely thoughts on it. But
So
Brad Pitt's
they
character is
present
almost
his
the
character.
opposite of Morgan Freeman's character.
completely.
Yeah.
And they present his character as very cocky, very sure of himself, very headstrong, and very emotional. Like it's the contrast between Morgan Freeman and his, like, they imply through his experiences and through his age, and he has extreme emotional intelligence, whereas Brad Pitt has zero emotional intelligence. And they mention it like throughout the film several times that he's extremely emotional. And there's that great scene where he's like freaking out because a reporter came in, which we find out isn't like reporter, it's actually John Doe, the serial killer.
Yep.
And he like freaks out on the guy, and Detective Somerset is like, well, like, I'm glad you're, you know, using your emotions to your advantage. Like, you're gonna beating up a reporter, because Brad Pitt thinks that he's using, which I can't remember his character's name now.
Mills.
What?
Mills?
Oh, right, Mills. Mills says, I use my emotions, like they fuel my motivation. And Somerset points out, like, that's not sustainable, and it's not going to work out well for you in the end. And that's exactly what happens.
Yeah, I am actually interested. Dane wasn't home to rewatch this one with me, but the more the more I get to know myself and how other people watch movies as well, like there is a ton of foreshadowing in this movie. And I am the person who, in every one of these episodes, I always I never ever see that until like after I've watched the movie. And then I'm like, oh, that was whereas my husband, like, when he's watching a movie, he picks up every single little detail. And so like he often knows what's going to happen well before anyone else. So I am interested to ask him like whether or not he could tell that this is coming. Like I was rewatching this. So
there was no other possible ending.
Yeah. The entire time
you knew that from the scene when he walks in. Like you see Mills come in and he's just chaos, and he has very little self-control. Like, you know that's the ending. Like, you know it from the scene he walks in on. Like,
well, yeah, and they're definitely like, again, I would not have noticed this had I not been watching this for the second time. So like I was very aware of what the ending was going into today's rewatch. But I like the scene where, as you mentioned earlier, so Gwyneth Paltrow plays Mills's wife, Brad Pitt's wife.
Yeah.
And so she has this like very like, she's so kind of good natured. She has these like a few scenes where she's trying to like help her husband fit in more. So she invites Somerset, Morgan Freeman's character, over for a dinner, and she's like trying her best, but they clearly have gone through from a like suburban nice place to this like dark city place, and their house has like a train overhead. Like everything's going wrong for her clearly. And then, as you said, they have that scene later where she calls out of the blue and invites Somerset out for a drink, and she's like clearly like overwhelmed. She doesn't know what to do. She doesn't fit in this place. She's like really, really upset about everything. And it like in that moment, it is very clearly like like it's that moment where you're like, oh, why are we really getting to know this character? And then she's gone for like a long period of time. And you're like, oh yeah. Whereas like when I was watching that the first time, I never gave that a second thought.
It's like her innocence and her purity is like super highlighted. She finds out she's pregnant, and she discusses with Somerset whether she should even tell.
She hasn't told her husband yet.
Yeah, and it's like you just know. It's like, well, why are they giving us that like, why is she pregnant? How is that relevant to this web, right? That's being shown to us through this movie, and it's because you know that the tragedy has to be peak, right?
Yeah.
So it's like not just killing Mills's wife, but his unborn child. You know, it's to really motivate him to become wrath and kill.
Yeah. Okay, this is actually a really great question coming in from Liam. Thanks for hanging out with us, Liam. So Liam says that, and he's not really phrasing this as a question, but good debating point. He's saying the worst person is the one who says, this is how it's going to end. How clever am I? So you're one of those people, and not one of those people that says it, but one of those people that knows what's going to happen. And so is my husband. But neither of you say that out loud. You just sit with me as I'm like horrified, and I'm like, what was that? Yeah, and I'm like shocked at the end. So I'm with you, Liam. But I'm interested to hear like anyone.
That's training, though.
Yeah.
Like,
if you're hanging
my
out,
dad used to like mute Murder, She Wrote or Columbo or Magnum PI or whatever when we were watching it, and be like, okay, who do you think the killer is and why? It's like we're watching, you know, Agatha Christie's Poirot or Miss Marple or something, and he's like, he'll pause it and be like, "Okay, who do you think did it? And let's figure out why you think that." So it's just something we did when I was a kid.
I think if you've made it, so I am interested if you're hanging out with us live, like, are you that person, and do you say any of that kind of stuff out loud? Because I do think
I don't say it out loud. No,
I do think you are right.
I
like
also
there
learned...
is a fun to if everyone is in on the game, like, oh, we're trying to figure out who did it. Like we definitely do that as a family, where we're watching a murder mystery and we're like, do you know who did it? And it's never me. Like newsflash, it's never me. But everyone else is able to guess and figure it out correctly. So yeah, it is. I think if you make it a game, it's okay. If you're just
inadvertently made a mistake watching The Sixth Sense in theaters. So it had blown up in theaters. The movie was huge, and I hadn't really heard much about it.
And had the shock surprise ending. Yeah. Surprise.
Yeah, so I didn't know what it was yet, because, you know, the internet wasn't as, you know, used as now as it is now.
Was a thing?
Then
I can't remember when that one came out.
I don't remember, but like there was the internet. The internet's been around for a while, but anyway, so we go to theaters, and was I with you? I can't remember.
I think so, maybe. I don't remember.
I think so, and I was like, wait, is he dead? Like, is he a ghost? And like people around me were like, shh, and I was like, oh, okay. And he was. And I was like, oh, I shouldn't have said that out loud. I whispered it. Like I didn't know. I didn't know that was a shock ending. It's like, oh, he's dead, right?
Yeah.
People are like, shut up. And I was like, oh shit. So
yeah,
See, definitely.
You were the jerk in that one.
I didn't do it. I had no, like, why would that be? You know, I was like, that's so weird. Like, Anyways, so never, like, always keep my mouth shut now.
Yeah.
God almighty. It was an innocent mistake.
And this one was another one.
What
So Sixth Sense is one kind of that you immediately think of as having the like surprise ending. But I will say that like
it did. It was a
Seven
shock ending.
also has a shock ending that like the majority of people when they first, not the clever people out there, the majority of people when they watch it, like even if you know what's going to happen, this ending is still deeply unsettling and very shocking.
So it's like, you know when they go out to the field and then the delivery guy comes in, even when they're going to the field. Okay, so John Doe, the serial killer, says he'll turn himself in and confess to everything instead of pleading insanity and getting off, right?
Yeah.
Because his defense lawyer's like, you have very shaky, little to no evidence because John Doe
turns
is
himself in, covered in blood. He just
a
shows
genius
up
serial killer. So he turns himself in and he's like, the only way I will go to jail for this, to confess to this, is if these two detectives come with me to undisclosed location. There'll be 2 more bodies and I will show them where the bodies are, which the body is himself and Mills's wife. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you know the whole time, the first time I watched it, I remember thinking like, don't do it, Mills, don't do it, Mills, don't do, like, it's like you see him walking him out into the field and I'm like, don't unholster your gun. No, like, just, it makes me so mad that he does do it. And you could see Somerset like trying so hard to get him to not do it so that justice can actually be served.
Yeah.
But
even in like
Mills goes to jail.
Even in, I mean, again, you have these two like very, very different people in Somerset and Mills, right? Both detectives, but wildly different personalities. Where
it's like young and old and new and experienced,
level-headed and hot-headed.
Really highlight,
they're definitely two sides of a coin. But what's interesting in that particular scene is how they both approach it. So they're clearly out of their game. Like he has already won from the moment he walks into that police station. Like he surrenders himself. He's covered in blood, and he goes down, and he, like, you can tell
Mills's wife's blood.
He has already outsmarted them. Like in that moment, you know that he's already outsmarted. He's already won.
He also knows that the only reason they found him in the first place is because they had to have done something that wasn't considered legal. Yeah. Because he has no fingerprints and has left no evidence.
Yeah.
So
he's left no evidence. And so so there's that moment where, which is, again, just a brilliant scene. The lawyer comes in and this is a great example. And we were talking earlier before we jumped on about this, like there are not, that I can think of, all that many more modern serial killer movies where the killer is this level smart. Like this is the cat and mouse game, but like at its like peak, right? Yeah. So like he's orchestrated everything down to the smallest detail. So his lawyer is prepped and shows up and basically, as you said, has this debate where
they can't even tie him to the apartment.
They can't tie him to anything. So they have basically no evidence. And so they're like, he's like, he'll walk, like I'll get him off on. And so they're having this whole debate, right? Like he will declare him, like he will be able to prove that this man is insane. He clearly is. Or you can do this entire thing. You can take the bait and go on this journey. And Morgan Freeman's character is very much like keeps thinking like we only have 5 bodies right now. Like this is a 7 deadly sin. This doesn't end well. Like Morgan Freeman throughout this movie is like, he knows this doesn't end well. Like this guy is going to get away with it. He said right at the beginning. Like he
said there will be 7 bodies. Like he knew that they would not catch him before he was done.
Yeah. And Liam is right. Liam says that is why 7 is a great ending. It's not even a twist. Yeah. It's been foreshadowed from the very start. And you're right. Like Morgan Freeman's character says it a number of times. Like that's why he wants out at the beginning. He's like, this is more than one.
Fuck this.
And this is like, this guy is going to finish his killing spree, and either we'll catch him at the end or we'll never catch him, but it does not end well. Like this does not end well. So it is that moment where like Brad Pitt Mills's character isn't even able to admit, like, he just wants to win, quote unquote. So it's like he's like, no, like we're gonna nail this guy to the wall. And Morgan Freeman's like, he's like, best case, he's already killed the other two people. Like, there's no win here. Like,
best case, he's done with
lost.
the game when it's over.
We've lost, and it's so it is this like very orchestrated scene. And I don't know if you picked this up, Nat, or like, and again, this is like a weird Katie movie. In the way that you built the movie list, my mind was like everywhere watching this movie tonight. Yeah. But the last scene where they drive out on this long drive and the helicopters are following them and they're out like in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing around. There is like there's a dead animal laying in the street, and there's like an
I love the one line where John Doe's like, "Oh, I didn't do that.
I didn't do that." Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, that adds to the atmosphere, but I didn't do it."
And there's like a rundown old building, but the shot of the delivery guy coming up the dirt road with the dirt blowing behind, and you're like, shit. Like that moment felt very Romeo and Juliet to me, like 90s Romeo and Juliet, where it was like, oh no, like this is not good. Yeah. And there's just that moment, and Kathy's hanging out with us and she says, you know, the what's in the box moment. So this line is iconic. Like, even if you haven't seen this movie, you might recognize this line. And Brad Pitt, I mean, like the acting in this is phenomenal, but I guess they like had him kind of isolated. They had him working like much longer, crazier hours than everyone else. So they had him like at his lowest, and I don't think they fully even disclosed like all of the moments of this scene. So like a lot of that is like just genuine like frustration and exhaustion, and like the delivery of that is so like, I get chills even just like thinking about it, because it's so, it's almost, it has like a little bit of a terrified laughter vibe. Like he's like on that crazy edge of it all.
He's on the verge.
He's on the verge, and he's just, and then it's that moment you were saying where like,
but that's why John Doe wins. Like,
that's why he wins.
He orchestrated the whole thing to he choreographed this whole scene. You know, like, I find
it's wild because you're like Morgan Freeman. You're like, no,
like just don't do it, dude. Like, I know you're gonna do it because you know.
Yeah,
John Doe
Liam's
wins,
right.
But,
like it Morgan Freeman's character really is like a narrator in this. So it like it is, you are in many cases sort of seeing it through his eyes, and you're just like, it's that moment of like you can't stop it the train has already left the building. Like, you cannot stop it from happening, but it's so heavy, like watching that moment. It's just, it was iconic. Yeah, absolutely.
I find like, so that scene, like the whole set was very it made me think very of the style of it is very Nordic noir. Mm-hmm. So it's like all those sort of like gritty Nordic noir, like detective shows have this sort of feel, in that Morgan Freeman character and that Mills character. It's like, it's very much, I wonder if that was any kind of inspiration for it.
Yeah, maybe.
But it made, like, the whole time I was like, oh, I didn't realize this is very Nordic noir. Like, the whole thing, like, where the atmosphere is a character in itself that sets the tone.
Well, it is also interesting because literally, I'm trying to think, but like every other scene, it's pouring rain. And then that last scene is like,
and it looks
bone
so
dry desert. Like it's like, it's intense in a very different way. Like, so it is wild. I'm looking at my notes, and it says directed by David Fincher, who clearly hates joy. Accurate. Yeah, you're right. I do think that the city itself and the atmosphere around them definitely has its own personality and is in itself a character. But it is like, you feel it, like the just the endless rain, like you can't see through it. The grittiness. It has like a weight. Sound and a feel and a weight. It really is phenomenally done in that, to be able to create that kind of feeling but keep you captivated, I think is really a magic to that. I did like, so I will say there are like a few moments of humor in this movie. So I just wanted to I wanted to call some of them out. Here are my favorite. So when Morgan Freeman goes over to Brad Pitt's house, because Mills's wife invites Somerset over for dinner, and then she's off to bed, and so they're staying up late and they're like looking through files. I love that Brad Pitt's like, I'm gonna get a beer. Do you want anything? And Morgan Freeman's like, I'll have wine. And he's like, gotcha. And he goes back to the kitchen, and he comes back with a pint glass, like full to the brim of wine, and hands it over. And I literally paused. I was like, wait, what?
It's like it's essentially like almost.
And then
it's like almost a bottle of wine.
It's basically a bottle of wine. It's basically, and then to make it even better, so then I like hit play again. I was like, wild, but okay, he's young and doesn't know, sure. And then so the movie keeps going, and then like literally, I think it's like a minute later, he's like, well, I'm gonna go to bed. Like it was like, here's this giant glass of wine, get out. Like so that was a great moment. And then my second favorite moment is so that there's so much library happening in this, which warms my book loving library heart. But they come out of the library, and they've done all this research, and Brad Pitt is like struggling but keeping up because he's like the young hothead.
It's like this poetry bullshit.
It's a bunch of like poetry bullshit, right? And
I mean,
like,
like he was trying to read like
So
trying to read Milton and Canterbury Tales, and like it is heavy reading.
It is
like
heavy
if
reading.
you're not prepared for it.
But I love the part where they're sitting in the car, and Brad Pitt's got like the list of books that have been taken out that could be related and point them back to the name of the person taking it. So they're trying to find John Doe, and he's reading through the list, and he's just like butchering the name of every single one of these texts, and Morgan Freeman is just correcting him. And the like back and forth banter in that, like as they're talking about that, there are some really brilliant, like witty, like the dialogue in there is really smart and really funny and so subtle in what otherwise is a horrifying movie with like dark pouring rain and like death everywhere. So I those two scenes I think were my favorite.
It's a horrifying movie, but in a sense, there's also an elegance to what John Doe is doing too.
There is. Like, there really is.
It's, again, like I said, it's choreographed. It's very, it's weird. Like, I mean, obviously it's horrible and there should be no murder. But like we said, he's sort of almost a vigilante, and then once he realizes that he's committing the sin of envy, he orchestrates to get himself off.
He sacrifices himself. Is that really even the right word? Because he's such a bad guy, but like he's on a mission.
He knows, like it's fascinating because he changes his plans. And it's like, we know he's been doing this prepping for this for at least a year.
Yeah, because he has the one guy trapped in the place who ends up still being alive, which is wild. But he was there for over a year. So yeah, it's been at least a year of prep, if not more.
But then he changes his plan to include Mills. Because he was so impressed that Mills found him. Which he also calls to congratulate them and say, like, wow, I'm really impressed. Like, you have impressed me. And then he stalks him a bit, finds his wife, and includes. So he had to have changed his plan. So anyways, it's just very fascinating how he does it so precisely, and gets away with it all, basically.
And like
he essentially did get away with it.
He does.
What happened?
He
like
wins.
He's dead, but he won. Like,
but he finished his plan how he wanted to, which is, you're right. Like, actually, now that I think about it, that is actually more terrifying if you think about it. That had like the Mills's character from start to finish is so sad, because if you think about it for a second, like he's clearly like he's younger, he's trying to prove himself. So like he says a number of times to Somerset that like he wants to be taken like seriously. He's the, I'm the same like level of detective as you are. Like I've worked my time, I've put in the effort, and like he's obviously been in like a smaller, more suburban town, and he's purposefully
They mentioned
transferred.
farms and tractors.
Yeah, he's purposely transferred and moved like his wife and is like, you know, at some point I assume thinking about starting up a family to the city so that he can you know, move up the ranks and like and be, you know, fulfilled in his job. He wants to be taken,
loves his job.
He wants to be taken seriously. He wants to be able to do this. And so it's so actually like heartbreaking.
He is good at his job too.
The moment he's successful at his job is the moment that like seals his fate. That's so like so dark. It is crazy. Matt's asking a great question. I don't know the answer to this, but Matt says, I never understood why he wrote in the books without any page numbers or dates. What was that about? His writing, by the way, is whoever wrote all of the text. I was like, wow, the writing is so pretty. Like, it was just brilliant. Yeah, I don't know.
I think that implies he has some sort of, you know, it implies his insanity because like we always see.
It's manifesto-esque, right? He's like, I imagine he's like writing like
his ramblings, his plans, his plots. Yeah. And it like, who knows, it could be the same thing over and over again, or it could just be different fantasies. It's I think the way they just fill the page so completely just implies like he's a step away from basically writing it on the walls, you know, like where you see like a more it's he has the control to not write everything on the walls, like how we see there's a common,
but barely, because he's got the
his control is pretty massive though.
Yeah, like, he's got the like, but it is still that. And again, this is just part of like making this city itself feel so evil, but like it does feel that level of grittiness as like a Saw, where like you're in the room and you're like, oh, don't touch anything. Like every little thing is like rusted, like dirty, gross, grimy. Like there's like photos, you know, hanging from the ceiling. Like every single scene there's just like you could not possibly be eating any food while watching this movie. Like this movie has got like a disgusting level.
They even mention when they go to the restaurant to pass the cash to the FBI informant that they have, and Somerset says like this like restaurant has had at least 5 food like health violations in the
you don't
past,
want to live
whatever.
in the city. This is a dark city.
It just everything seems so disgusting.
But
so I think the writing on the walls is usually like a common visual symbolism of insanity, but to have it like so precisely and cleanly in the book is like it makes it scarier.
It does make it scarier because it is that like it is that line between, and actually like his character walks a couple different lines, right? It's like the line of genius and insanity. It's the line of like mission and purpose and like evil. Like it's like he's like, it's that line of murder of any kind is horrible and wrong, but because it is people who are on the like on that line of like what they're doing is not like there's a justification to it even though there is not, and so he is riding against that line where like you're like no, but okay, I get why you think that. Like I like it's a weird.
I think one thing that's kind of unique to this serial killer is that we know his purpose and he can explain it to us.
Yeah.
Whereas like in real life, like there's no you can't understand their purpose or their, you know, like even if they explain it to you, you're like, oh, none of that makes sense.
Yeah. We should talk. So David's hanging out with us. Hey, shout out to David. And he says that Kevin Spacey is the star of this film. Kevin Spacey, again, like I
wish he wasn't like,
I wish he wasn't the worst,
as bad as John Doe in real life.
but not quite, but definitely not a great guy. But he is phenomenal in this.
Genius actor though.
And again, like the little like moments in this, I don't know if you caught this, but like he actually is not at all named at the beginning of the movie. His name comes at the very end of the film. So like again, this was a time where he was
credit that rolls is Kevin Spacey as John Doe.
Yeah,
it's like the first.
These were and are like very famous Hollywood actors. So like this cast was
So this was Brad
phenomenal.
Pitt's first
This was an early Brad Pitt
role.
Yep.
Not based on how pretty his
I
face
was gonna say he was in Thelma and Louise, but yeah, you're right. It was not based on how pretty he was.
No, it's not his first role. It's his first like into serious acting for acting ability role. It's like his first. It was sort of his gateway into expanding his career.
Yeah, yeah. But
as opposed to just doing like the rom-coms and playing the pretty.
Exactly. But yeah, Kevin Spacey in this is
oh yeah,
phenomenal.
And Morgan Freeman too. Jesus.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the whole cast, the whole cast. But I do. Yeah. I don't know if I would say he upstages the other actors. I totally, that is a valid opinion. He does a phenomenal job. For me,
he usually does though in a lot of his films.
He usually does in a lot of his films. I think what upstages, I think why I might feel that way a little bit is that the way that the movie is played, like his role, you don't know he's in the movie until he pops up, and then because he is this unnamed, faceless, like terrifying presence, like it in some ways elevates Kevin Spacey's acting above what it already is. So it's like he's already phenomenal, but because he comes out of nowhere and you're like, oh snap, Kevin Spacey's in this. Like there's like this, it makes it almost bigger than life on top of how great he is. So I do think it's an interesting, like, I don't know, addition to it.
Yeah. What's crazy is we never find out who he is.
No.
And Morgan Freeman, Somerset will live with that forever.
Yeah.
He's never going to know who this person was.
He cuts off his fingerprints, which apparently isn't actually a thing. They grow back, like, so you can't do that apparently in real life. So everyone take a deep breath.
But he can continuously mutilate them.
He can mutilate them, but they don't, like, it would not eliminate all. Fingerprints are wild, you guys. I'm reading an Agatha Christie, like forensics of Agatha Christie book right now. So like on the forensics of her books. And I learned two things. One, they're actually called finger marks, not fingerprints. And your finger Hollywoodism. And your finger marks are like you cannot, like, they just come through. Like even if you were to do like horrible things to your fingers, they still
it's like
find a way. Like, it's crazy.
In forensics, they can like rehydrate. There's lots of different techniques and stuff that forensics uses. Because it's hard, like you said, it's almost impossible to get rid of a fingerprint, finger mark.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So David's saying the old 3D Realms Duke engine game Blood has an Easter egg where you go into the room from 7 with all the tree-shaped air fresheners. Yeah. Each one of the like a moment to raise a hand, a toast to the set designer of this movie or the set designing team, because every one of these like murder scenes are just
they're
like,
so intense, and there's so much stuff,
so much detail, so much detail. Like if you were to like pause and just take a look around these rooms, like the amount of detail in this, the fact that like Morgan Freeman was able to like move the fridge in the one scene because of the scratch marks on the floor, like the neuroses of how flawless every detail is from the mind of this crazy person translated through the vision of the director into the set design. Like it's insane. It really, like, the detail is crazy.
I think it's crazy that David Fincher basically had quit filmmaking entirely.
Thank goodness.
Before he got the script. And when he got the script, he's like, I'm not interested. I'm definitely not going to do it. But he had read it and it just sat in his head and he just couldn't let it go. Like, it was just like, no, this is really a descent into evil. Like, it's not just a crime procedural, and I'm so happy he made it, because he's now delivered us some phenomenal movies and series.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well,
a lot. And it's funny because he's stuck into this crime sort of genre. He has continued that throughout his career.
He has, yeah.
Thank you.
It does make me, it's funny, you were saying yesterday when we were doing our pop-up live stream that like when you were putting movies down on a list, you were like, oh, that one, and then this other one that like connects. Like it is kind of a big movie board instead of a murder board. It's with the
Yes.
red lines between all of them. But I did definitely have that feeling when we review these movies. It always kind of makes me like think of another one or think of a different, either by the actor or by
Yeah.
the director or by the producer. Like there's usually like a vision
Or
or
a
a theme.
song or
But in
something
this
that connects.
one, I was like, oh yeah, I would love to rewatch Fight Club now on the other side of this, which is one I have not seen often, but like, and
Yeah.
probably not in a while. And I was just like, oh yeah, that like, I don't know. I
See,
want to
now
say
it makes
it's
me think
different, but that's a weird
it's
expression
that
for
whole-
movie. Yeah.
that whole genre. It's like Fight Club, Memento. There was a few.
Yeah.
What else came out around? Anyways, there's a couple around that time. There, like this sort of style was very
I
popular.
had 12
at the time.
Monkeys. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wait, Liam, you've been cutting off your finger your finger marks. What's going on? Now we're concerned. We're concerned. I'm glad that they grow back, but also what? Wait, what? What's going on? Yeah, and Kathy's saying that Spacey can chew up some scenery. Yeah, he's.
God, yeah.
And what's crazy about his character, about his characters, and how his acting is that he's never the like. He's unassuming, and then you're like, wait, what? Like, he's never the like most interesting, attractive, captivating person on screen, and then he just comes at you. Like,
I feel like
you
he
underestimate him, even though you know
Yeah.
not to underestimate any Kevin Spacey
Yeah.
character. You're like, oh, yeah, he's fine, and then you're like, what? Like,
It's
wait
like
a
he turns his charisma on
Yeah.
and off.
Yeah.
At will, which is
Yeah.
terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's scary, but he can fade into the background or be the center of attention in the room at will, and he's a very powerful actor in that sense.
Yeah. Yeah, and American Beauty is another one that was that he was incredible in. I know, right? We're drawing all the lines now. And Kathy's saying that on her podcast, she and Kenny are going to be talking about 12 Monkeys on Sunday.
Gonna watch.
All right, we'll have to check it out. Pop Culture Kids, that's a great show for anyone that is looking for more movie talk. Definitely head on over there.
I love 12 Monkeys. That was completely bananas.
It was bananas. It's been a while since I've seen that one too. There's like, I feel like I definitely rewatched, like my comfort rewatch, like quote unquote favorite movies are all like rom-coms, like historical fiction, musicals. Like they're all like, none of these like super dark or action or thriller movies. I some of the like silly 90s horror I definitely rewatched a bunch of times, but yeah, so it's been fun actually rewatching a lot of these movies that really are like, I mean, they launched a whole other, generations of other movies that came after them and were really groundbreaking.
Well, 12 Monkeys has had several reiterations too, I think. Like it's been a TV show at least once.
Yeah.
These had big impact.
Yeah.
And I mean, and this movie had a big impact on the careers of the people in it as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah, absolutely. Josh is pointing out your worst joke ever, 12 Monkeys, is bananas. You're welcome, Josh.
Oh my God, I didn't do that.
I was going to say Nat didn't even notice, but we're going to call
I didn't
that
know
one
that
out.
I did that.
We're going to call that one out. Oh my gosh. Well, we've gotten to the time where we need to review this one. So if you're hanging out with us live, you can drop in your rating. We rate in potatoes. You can rate in stars. I don't even want to know what other things you can rate it. Usually we do fun things, but this movie maybe don't do fun things. You could do boxes. It would be bad, but you could do boxes. You could rate in boxes. We would cry a little bit, but dark. You could take a dark side. But I want to, so I'm going to ask you, Nat, this question. I'll see if I can answer it myself as well. So does this count as a movie that you love and would rewatch, like a rewatchable movie, or is this one that you just like respect from a healthy distance?
No, this is a rewatchable movie, and it holds up, and it's interesting because it's in a nameless city, and the technology is kind of all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have computers, but then are also using typewriters because it's kind of ambiguous.
Yeah.
It holds up through the sort of test of time, because it is ambiguous. It can kind of take place anywhere from the 70s to now-ish. Like it's not super locked in because it has that ambiguity.
Yeah, that's a
So,
good point.
yeah,
I
it
mean,
holds up.
there is the like off to the library, which definitely like these days it would be like ask ChatGPT or Google
But
it.
but at the same time,
But it feels
Somerset
Yeah.
would do that regardless
true.
if it was today or not.
True. And it does
If we
like,
had ageless Morgan Freeman,
true.
like
We always
solving a crime today.
What do you mean if? We have always ageless Morgan Freeman. That is just a fact.
No, but
I'm
if he
holding on to
was
that.
solving a crime in a movie today, he would still go to the library.
Yeah, and the library really is kind of like it's like his haven. Like it does seem like it's a safe spot.
Yeah.
He knows all of the security guards that are there. It's like his late night. It's his Batcave. I'm holding on to my Batman analogy. It's his Batcave. We have some ratings coming in. Kathy's going dark. I love it about you, Kathy. Kathy's rating 4 boxes. Matt is also dark. Matt is rating it 5 out of 5. David's got 8 out of 10 pies. David's in his own rating system. Pies. I like it. 8 out of 10. What do you think, Nat?
It's a 5 for me.
It's a 5
5
for you. It's
Christian
a 5 for you.
taters.
It
Or
was a
Spud
5. Yeah,
Slaters.
it was Spud Slater's. Not endorsed by Christian Slater, but Christian Tater gave it 5. Christian Taters. But yeah, I'm good with 8 out of 10. I'm good with Liam saying 7.
Yeah.
He's in on 7. Well, our rating system's out of 5, so you can just do the math and duplicate that.
It should obviously be 7.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's 7 out of 5.
It really should.
7 out of 5 of this one. It is interesting. I can totally see like most gimmicky movies, and I mean gimmicky like that have a shock ending or a like, if I think about like a twist, M. Night Shyamalan movies, like I could watch those once and be like, yeah, that's good. It's a good movie. I got it. And like, I love the twist. I love a jump scare. I love like all those different things, but I don't need to like watch them again. There is something about this one that I would watch it again.
You'll see something
less often though.
new.
I need time and space between it because it does suck a little piece of my soul out of it. So
it just fascinates me. It's like, I know if I go back and rewatch it tomorrow, I'm going to see something else.
True.
There's going to be some other
The
detail
details,
in the scenes. And I don't know, like, honestly, I very distinctly remember we were probably 11. We walked over to the library and we were getting like an encyclopedia on serial killers out, and we were like poring over it. And I don't even remember why, but like we've been obsessed with this genre forever. So.
I think it's because it is in the. I've been wondering a lot about this lately, and I think
is it because the more I know, the more I can protect myself?
No,
like, I know I'm prey.
Maybe for you. For me, it is in the cleverness and the brilliance of it. It's in the cat and mouse game of like it's this like battle of the minds in these and 7 is a perfect example of this, where it's like it's the like it is the serial killer who is so methodical and so brilliant that could they actually get away with it, and how scary is that against the like can the power of deduction and of watching those like details and like can a Poirot type character actually like find the person in time and stop this from happening? And I feel
like he's a Moriarty. Like he would
do it again. I think he would
reference Sherlock Holmes. I think he would. Yeah. I think Somerset would always have known who he was.
Yeah.
But never have the right evidence to put him in jail.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it would be a cat and mouse forever if he wasn't part of his own plot.
It's true.
Like, really, John Doe just really, really, really wanted to win.
It's true.
More than continuing the game. He's like, no, I need to win.
And when he did. Well, before we end, I have some fun facts, so we should just throw some fun facts out.
Yes.
So the studio actually tried to change this ending, and they tried real hard.
But David Fincher wouldn't sign on to it unless the ending was guaranteed to
And
stay.
to make it even more interesting, Brad Pitt actually also said that he would walk off set if the ending changed. And
Yeah. What would they change the ending to?
I don't know. Yeah, the box stays, the trauma
Like,
stays.
yeah.
And we mentioned earlier, but Kevin Spacey intentionally was not credited. His name does not appear at all in any of the opening credits or in any of the like initial marketing of this movie to have a shocking ending. The audiences in 1995 literally had no idea that he was in the movie until they saw it, which again would have been a really cool feeling.
Yeah.
I did not,
and
get
it
that
would have
feeling,
been
but
because it's like around the time of Usual Suspects and other sort of big blockbuster Kevin Spacey hits, you know, and it would have been like a like, how could this huge Hollywood star not even, like, we didn't even know he was in it kind of thing. It would have been really big for the audience.
Yeah, exactly.
This apparently was a sleeper hit because it didn't do well with the test audience.
Who are these test audiences anyway? I feel like
I
they
don't
never
know, but they
does well with the
genuinely
test
always
audience.
suck.
They suck. You guys suck, test audiences. What the heck?
Like, I don't know who you are, but you are not good at your job.
Yeah.
The studio almost didn't want to release it super widely. Like, it was like this whole thing about it because they just thought it wouldn't do well, and of course it did phenomenally well.
Yeah.
Where did I read this information?
I don't know.
Why is it in my head?
I'm here for it.
I'm pretty sure it grossed $375 million. I don't know why I know that.
I love it. I love that your memory just gets like better and better with age, and mine is like completely gone. But I have my notes with me, so I'm okay. Apparently,
the thing is, my memory's not. It works. I just don't know how, and it doesn't. Like, I have no concept that it's a memory. It's just information that pops up. I'm sorry. Go on.
No, it's fine. The last fact,
It's
which
so
we covered
weird.
anyway a lot in this, but the city in this movie intentionally has no name because it's supposed to feel like
so
any
cool.
city, and it's supposed to represent that moral decay isn't isolated; it exists everywhere. But I just kept thinking, like, it's funny you were saying Chicago. I was like, is this New York? And then
Chicago, New York, any city, Montreal, Toronto.
But then a little bit later, like halfway through, I was like, oh no, it's like Gotham. It just is. It's just a dark. It's just a dark. So we're in Gotham, you guys. It's not okay. Yeah, Josh is saying that you read it at the library night. You got all those books at the library.
I'm sure I did.
You absolutely did.
I do love a library.
Oh my gosh. Well, we did it. We made it to the end of another episode, and fingers crossed, we're here at the end, and I don't think anything broke. So thank you to hang out with us. And we saw some new faces in the audience tonight. So huge thanks to our usual crew of incredible tater tots. But we had Liam with us as well, and David. I think there were a few other new folks. We had Matt, who isn't always with us, and obviously a huge shout out to our regular crew. We had Kathy and Josh hanging out with us. It was so great. This show we record live on YouTube and now other places, most Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. And we review all of your and our favorite movies from the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, and today. Quote unquote.
Except today is 20 years ago for Katie.
Today is 2000. That's as late as it gets. But yeah, we have a great lineup coming up in the next little bit. So definitely stay tuned. We got some great guests, some fun movies. I promise we'll get back into some happy, fun movies and some more cartoons and silly stuff along the way. So thanks for putting up with our dark choice for tonight. But I'm really glad that we rewatched this one because I think it was a good. It's been on the list. Yep. Now we can cross
love
it
a
off
good
the
murder.
All right. Well, the last thing I'll say before we jump off is a huge thank you. And if you want to find out more about this show, you can swing over to the VHSclubpod.com, where you can sign up for our email list. We send updates and reminders about what episodes we have coming up. We give out prizes every now and then, and we take all of your feedback as well. And we do movie nights. So Josh
once a month.
Josh gets to pick next because we figured out last time that this is Josh's time to like catch up on movies. So Josh picks every month, and we'll all meet up. We'll all meet up to watch a movie. So we'll have to pick our February movie watch. So Josh, put on your thinking cap and let us know what we're gonna watch in February. And we will see you all next Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern here on YouTube. Thanks, everyone. Bye now.
Bye.
kidnapped, blocking the scene